Listening to, obviously, I said, these happy hardcore tape packs, didn't know what to do, very young. When I went into town centres, I just noticed there was people drunk, and you see a lot of fights. When I started going to the bounce scene, Wigan Pier and places like that, there was always a good vibe. And when I went to the hardcore scene, I even noticed the empathy. The frequency was massive. Now, I even based some of my rhymes on Kelton Leach, because if you watch his Rise of the Foot Soldiers story, it will show the West Ham fans and the Millwall fans would all be giving hugs, whatnot. But sometimes, they won't be doing hugs, they'd be fighting each other. So when I went to hardcore raves, I seen that image projected myself, especially in the hardcore ones. Because I was like, wow, everyone's... You can have, in the hardcore scene, friends from Southampton to London to Glasgow, no matter where you live, and that is the true key to the unity, and it does project a good vibe. I think back in the older days, my sister used to go to the I.E Raves, and they were illegal back then, but really there was no need to shut these places down. People were just having a good time. You've seen it. I mean, when you've come to Bonanza, you love playing there. It's a family kind of event which I believe can also grow, and that's my idea. We're going Unity in the Sun this year. We do some pool parties, first time there. I think everything else, I just love her music. Stu Allen, one of our recent Fallen Soldiers, he played on Bonanza a few times. A lot of tunes he did was, he'd feel the love, and I think that, I think that's what it's all. It's that frequency that keeps it all together.
Hey, and welcome to the I.E Media podcast. This is episode 17. Today, I'm joined by my good friend and brother, Joe Duwkins, absolute legend in the hardcore scene, and we've got a lot to talk about today, and Joe's going to share his journey within the music scene, so it's going to be a good one. Stay tuned.
Yes, peeps, welcome to I.E Media, the YouTube podcast for your senses.
So we're going to get straight to it today. Joe, how are you doing, brother?
Not bad. Amazing day. Loving all seasons, and looking forward to the podcast today. And I love the studio, everything you've got going on here. Done a music video, MC video in here that got lots of hits.
You did?
Even MC Watts, who was saying it's the best he's ever heard me. That's the blessing of your studio, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much, man. A big shout out to you as well for all the work you do, which we will get into within the music scene, and for the opportunities as well you've gave me to perform at your nights. Very grateful for.
And we love these Bonanza nights. We will be back after Unity in the Sun pool parties. We'll be back late this year. Last year we had rooms at Sanctuary, which come out of the blue. Andrew Farrell runs one of the biggest UK bounce events going, so to have a UK hardcore room there. Well, I've worked with Sanctuary in their other rooms before with hardcore, but this year felt special all the way till New Year's Eve. So hopefully there's more of this, more opportunities for yourself. Manchester, Blackpool, and possibly Birmingham, whoever collabs with us.
Absolutely.
We'll find out a little bit more about that later on if you want to ask me, but let's see what you've got to say.
Definitely, man, definitely. So, in true podcast tradition, I just want to ask you a little bit more about you to give the listeners and the viewers a little bit more of an insight into your life and who Joe, the legend, is, as many people will know in the scene. But for the people not in the scene, who is Joe and where did it all start?
I mean, Joe is just a passionate, not a normal passionate person that a lot of the time was quiet during the week. At the weekends, you used to go to hardcore raves. As a kid, I used to listen to Out Scout of Dreamscape on tape packs. Towards the end, like the early, say, noughties, or well, not the end, real early noughties, or into me bounce, you'd find me at Wigan Pier or Maxims, Italian House, still listening to me hardcore, and the hardcore scene went a bit quiet. Now, I moved down south. When I moved down south, I went to Slamming Vinyl, Westfest. I went to all the events I could go to in the southwest scene, actually, Firewall. I know, no, mainly in the northwest, where I've based me events, but DJ Bishop and MC Motion, funnily enough, in the southwest scenes, were big inspirations to me. And obviously, other big guys like Watson, people like Seduction, even a bit of drum and bass like Nicky Black Market, things inspired me. But what really inspired me was just seeing what goes on in the scene and just connection with the ravers and putting on events, and just the passion of that really drives me on.
Yeah. What would you say is your most influential sort of moment in your younger years that inspired you to pick up the mic?
A mixture of both, believe it or not. Hardcore, drum and bass. I would say that listening to MC Robbie D, the original Detonator, in the United Dance Rooms at Westfest and at the NEC, his freestyling and bars caught my attention. Also, in the hardcore scene, it's people like MC Watts, MC Odyssey, really inspired me. When you see MCs like that, working with people like Kevin, Energy, and seeing Watsy with DJ Brisk, I think back in the day, they was really up there in my category that I thought, yeah, I don't want to do something like this myself.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? When you're younger and you get inspired and you sort of progress from there, don't you? And it's just, that's it, that's you then, isn't it? If something grabs your attention, as music does, it's kind of like you set for life.
Yeah, I mean, really back in the day as well, listening to the bounce genres and the Italian house genres, Wizard MC, FEZ, RAVE, people like that also caught my attention. Max and Nats within the hardcore to hardstyle scene. I could go on all day really, but
yeah,
I think they're the main ones, but there's lots of others, I could mention, but I'm not going to take up your podcast with all that.
No, and we'll get a bit more into your events as well that you've been hosting for many years now and some of the names you've had on that. And grateful to have my name alongside them on flyers and stuff. It's absolutely amazing. I do think that you do bring people together within the scene, especially through the events and stuff. And I think this podcast will be a good way for people to see a deeper side of you as well and your journey through it all. And so when was your actual first time of emceeing in front of anyone?
In front of anyone? Well, I can put that into two concepts. When I was working at Butlins Minehead.
All right.
So I got paid every 2 weeks. So if I go to these raves like Firewall and that cost a bomb in a taxi. So you say I was saying what Darren Styles, MC Storm would be headlining or whoever, I'd go and I'd see MC Motion. We got to know DJ Bishop, DJ Kitback. They were the names in the Southwest kicking it back then. DJ Outburst. Hardcore Distortion, did he do? He did a night in Yeovil. It'll come to me the name, but he did an amazing night and I'd travel all the way to that event and I'd go to Firewall. And what would happen is I'd get to know DJs on the camp and I'd then start emceeing in the chalets, in the places of work.
Okay.
However, that's in front of little people, maybe 1 or 2, 3 people who'd be in the chalet. However, there was a nightclub called Duke's Nightclub. And one night, it wasn't on the genre I wanted to MC for. They let me on and I were on for an hour. Might have only been funky house or something like that. Might have even been a bit of tech house on. But later on down the line, that's when I got more like when I moved back up north, 2008, Fine Brody booked me for Sensation in Macclesfield. Robbie MC booked me on a half bounce, half hardcore night.
Big up, Robbie.
Yeah, and then a bit later on, 2009, I was unofficially booked and I got on a night in Bury. I think it was Reloaded, where I've had proper bookings later in the future. That's bigging up DJ Krim and DJ Lomi, MC Buzzing, who's known as Chris Lomax. And also, that was a bounce night. Also, Missing in Manchester, MC Curdy, my friend, we both know, Robbie MC had a residency, and one night, Curdy let me on. I did a good, near enough half an hour, and it was all right. It sounded really good. After that, it dried up for a bit. It was practicing in people's bedrooms, like it used to be for the 3 years down Butlins before I got back out again. Then, things got more serious in 2010. Pure Energy booked me, and I started Bonanza on the 20th of December. So that's a little bit of a short history of doing things in front of people.
So 2010, you started Bonanza?
Yeah, I started in 2010 because I thought to myself, I can't just be out there and just MC without putting events together. Because you said an interesting thing earlier about networking, bringing people together. I still have DJMC combinations of people I want to bring together that have never been done before. So that's something that spurs me on as well.
It's something to look forward to, definitely.
I'd like to see something random, I don't know, maybe the Wizard MC from the Italian house scene, going back to back with the original Detonator from the drum and bass scene, or maybe something even more random. And I think of these random combinations and just think, let's get it done before time goes. And that's me thinking of other people and just, how people might think, yeah, that's amazing. We had MCRE going back to Robbie D, so there could be other ideas or things in the future with different MCs which you just wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I like Robbie. He's cool. It was a pleasure to meet him at your event there last year that you got me on.
Yeah, absolute legend. And I've had him on a few events now. The original Detonator, Robbie D. Originally just wanted him to MC to hardcore, but he'll always ask to do a bonus drum and bass set. So I'll let him. Nowadays I'll probably say to him, okay, let's do a drum and bass hardcore so we can kind of mould the crowds. If you see the scene many years ago, drum and bass and hardcore, it would have been Happy Hardcore and Jungle back then. Our original hardcore before Happy Hardcore would all be in the same arena. Sometimes I try and bring that back a little bit, but I'm mainly always going to be UK hardcore, but we will have a bit with the other genres, whether it's UK bounce, bounce classics or a bit of jungle or drum and bass. But hardcore, you know, will be the one, but we will work with the other genres a little bit too. We even had a drum and bass room once in commemoration of Adam Wiggle, who did our First Flies.
Oh, God, yeah.
For
He was a top lad, him.
He was.
Sad.
Original designer for the first ever Bonanza Flies, and he supported the
wow.
early event. So when he passed, we did a room 3 times, and I'm glad we did, because we had a drum and bass room and a hardcore room going at the same time. I'd love to get that again in the future if we get the right venue.
It was really sad what happened to him. So yeah, big ups to you for that, man. Definitely.
Adam Wiggle, and you probably also, we recently lost one of my other inspirations, which I forgot to mention, popped right into my head with Fallen Soldiers, MC Mitch. He's Bonanza since 2012, but really since 2018 December 2019, all the way up to, you know, last year's passing. He was on most Bonanza events, and he turned up, he earned the wages, but he put in the graft, and he's such a talented MC that has done Totally Lost It main stage. He's done main things for HCID. I mean, I worked a little bit with Totally Lost It in the past, but not as much as him. But it seems the last few years he's worked so much for Bonanza, and I just wish he was still here. But we are going to do some tributes to him soon when the appropriate time is right, and paying him respects for just everything he did for us all. What an amazing MC.
Yeah, such a shame, man. Sorry for your loss, and sorry for the loss to Bonanza as well, because it was obviously a major part of that. And yeah, he'll live on through the music, I suppose, won't he? Just keep doing the tributes, and keep him in your memories, man. Definitely.
Only just a couple of weeks ago in December, being at his funeral, we were all kind of saying that the comforting thought was, we think that energy is eternal and can only be transferred and not destroyed. So we always think he's looking down, smiling upon what our next moves will be in contribution to his memory that is eternal.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
You obviously know that you're looking forward to playing some of the future Bonanzas. I have always said that in 2022, when we got a room at Herdsect, massive Gabba herd lineup, and we just had a little room. We got it rocking, but we had a mint lineup. We had people like Scoot on, Keelan Scare from Australia, who's become a regular on Bonanza, and loads of amazing local artists. And then we come back the year after, but not with Herdsect, on our own in the bigger room. And a good little a group of ravers turned up. The atmosphere was early when Spinblitz did an early set. And he was saying, Joe, I don't want to do an early set because he smashes it. Dan is a big DJ on Bonanza. And I said to him, you know something, Dan? There's going to be no warm-up sets. And he did the set. He said, Joe, I absolutely loved it. You was right. He smashed his set. Everyone turned up to see him. And to see the fact that as soon as they found out he was playing Freeform, that was it. So, I mean, that's how we had Spinblitz, is what we've done the radio with him now for so many years, and he's such a good DJ. And I think that he wasn't expecting that in Liverpool. I mean, it wasn't the first set, it was an early set of the night. And ideally, was accommodating a lot of other DJs as well that had to be different places and that. And because obviously we were staying there all night, so he absolutely got that dance floor rammed, and everybody absolutely loved his Freeform. And I think, touching on the Bonanzas, it's grown from 2020 in Liverpool, 2023. I don't know when we'll be back in Liverpool just yet. Yeah. This year I'm mainly looking at Blackpool, Manchester. So we'll be back at the Zombie Shack. There's a new venue I'm looking at in Blackpool. We used to work with Club Underground, cracking management, creative differences now. I think there's different genres in there. So it's looking more like when we've done our rooms at Sanctuary, which is a big growth. But I'm thinking of keeping the following going in Blackpool. We've already got a new venue on the phone, a new from one of the ravers who's networked with me. We've also got a new sound guy who's got amazing lighting, everything, and he's not overpriced. He just wants to help the brand, and that'll be an amazing night in Blackpool. And hopefully, Sanctuary will be thinking, more Reds coming through the door as well. So it'd be nice to have some more exposure with Sanctuary, because I worked really hard to get there. It weren't just me, it was everybody on the brand. Or any DJ, that even yourself, that's played in Manchester, wherever, that spread the word of Bonanza. There's no I in team, and that's what I believe in.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely awesome, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds for Bonanza. I mean, to be honest, I'd heard and seen of Bonanza before I even knew who you was. I remember seeing the smiley face and the logo many years ago, on flyers and town centres and places like that, man. So you've definitely been getting about, and onwards and upwards for Bonanza Crew, definitely.
Absolutely, and obviously there is another project which I will touch on. I'm not going to say any names, but it involves your studio, and he's one of the MCs I've mentioned. We are going to do a special track. I've already heard a little bit of it. I will mention one name. It's a track Trukore's working on. Just expect a few MCs in your studio, and
Nice.
it'll be a track that
Cool,
will
man.
actually be released. What we tell right? It'll be out the lyrics that we're going into the track, and it's going to be absolutely smashing. And I'm excited actually for the project. I've wanted to do it for a few years, and this project's going to be good. So a big shout to Trukore Records and that, and keep your eyes out for an amazing video and an amazing track for everyone that just, they'll love it.
Yeah, I look forward to that, man. Definitely. It's a shame though, the shows, I can't really play music on them and stuff due to, copyrights and algorithms and stuff like that. But I'm working on it. I'm trying to think of ways to incorporate, especially artists' music and stuff. I mean, it's not so bad if it's a complete original track, but sometimes if it's just like a tear out and it's someone else's, it gets a bit complicated to try and add it into the show. But I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. Bear with me. So what's your most memorable night so far in terms of the events, and just a night that was absolutely amazing and you can just recall off the top of your head that stays with you?
I'd like to, if it's okay, can I mention one or two?
Of course you can.
I want to touch on this year. We've just had, come out in last 2023. So DJ Sai in Blackpool, it was special. It felt as though the promoting between Preston and Blackpool and other places where I posted up that people are into hardcore. When I was putting posters up, I felt the build up. Oh, is this on at Club Underground? They were like, yes, we like this. They've seen the Bonanza logo. I thought, right, they've seen it before. Do you want to come?
Yeah.
They're really up for it. And that was just when I was putting the posters up. And I'm thinking, this is good. So great atmosphere on the dance floor. Just epic vibe. I pulled out the stops to get cider. Everybody else pulled out the stops to do the graft. And recently before that, we'd been in Manchester, and that was a really good night as well, which you'd seen Bonanza Summer Stomp, and we had Robbie D as well doing the drum and bass well at the hardcore with Jimmy Harry. That was really good. But last year was a build up, and then we went back to Manchester, and that was another good event as well. And it was just thinking to myself, this energy's got to carry on building now as we're going through the year. Bringing Jamie Rickman back is been very important.
Yeah.
And then obviously Vibes, shout to MC Duwkins for coming up and doing an amazing graft as well. That night, I think I went back to back with MC Master C. He'd been turned up last minute. He got a booking the night before. I've been a bit back to back with Duwkins, which I did on the DJ side set, which for me, I really like working with MC Duwkins over a lot of, I class him as a massive A-lister MC over a lot of A-lister MCs. Wow, and then just going to Sanctuary was an amazing moment I didn't expect. Going to Liverpool was another amazing moment. Last year felt like there was lots of amazing moments, but so was New Year's Eve. But I'm going to touch on his MC bookings, so amazing moments. Main stage at the Emporium once when I got told to run there last minute. I wasn't expecting that at Ravers Reunited. That was good. Street Life, absolutely amazing. Room 2 was just as busy as Room 1. Had loads of ravers there, and quite a few times we got that, kind of rocking. I think MCing for DJ Scoop over the last few years on my own events felt really good. When you hear that sound and you want to MC on that sound and you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times over there. I mean, DJ Kurt back in Macclesfield, Tunes on Toes, what we used to do, that was amazing as well. But there's a lot of times I'll just say I'm grateful for any experience, what my passions allowed me to, or what any promoter just shout to them that's allowed me to do my passion, and any ravers that's reacted, the genuine, the loving ones, the ones that we're there for. That's what it's all about. Them are the moments, the ravers.
Yeah. Oh, it's nothing but good times, is there? And I suppose it's hard to pinpoint the best times because there's so many good times, I suppose. But in terms of bad times, could you maybe recall any experiences or any events that haven't quite gone to plan?
I mean, there's always a bad time. So I think that just setting up Bonanza years and years ago, sometimes if the sound systems have, become a cropper in your learning days where you think you've got the appropriate setup, and then you have a little niggle with this, that you get through the night. People are happy, but you think that yourself it could be better. Almost like a football manager is still not happy when he's had a decent night, but it could be better. So we're always looking at improvements. So Yeah, I can recall times where we've had mess around with a sound system, or you've turned up for the promoter and they've just not had the right things laid on. And sometimes it's out of their control, and they're probably going through that learning phase as well. Sometimes if you've got, say, you're turning up to there's different genres of the UK, I call it bounce. If you're turning up somewhere where you've just got people trying to blag the mic or do your head and there's no appropriate barriers, or you just not got enough support around you, it's just blagging your head. You might not even give the mic away, but you might be blagging your head, your concentration. You want to think for crowd reaction, DJ, and you want to think rhymes in between, or you want to get a pop from the crowd for the DJ, or just to liven the raves up, or a shout back. It's in somebody else's in your ear. I think them as an MC, I think any MC will have them
times.
They have to have done. It comes part and parcel, and after a while you get used to it, and it becomes second nature to how you deal with these situations.
Yeah, I suppose it makes you better as well, doesn't it? And you learn off mistakes and you progress as an artist and as an event manager and stuff. And you're probably second nature to you now, isn't it, when you're planning the events, really?
It is. To be honest with you, I'm trying to think of bad times. Like I say, there's been things where there's been challenges where things have not been quite as I wanted them. But I'm that positive, and I love it that much. I can't think of too many bad times, but there has been, like, say, we've had a bad sound. If we had a bad sound engineer with a bad attitude, or somebody who's not on a vibration, who's not looking part of the team, or if he's unprofessional, if you've got a sound engineer getting off his head, I can recall one time when a sound engineer got off his head and he was quite hefty. I think he'd been arrested the night before. He was just a part of this venue and setup, and it got to the stage where I thought, no, I won't touch that place ever again. And that is a bad, I can't name times or places.
Of course not, no.
But I can tell you that it was an experience. And, the night myself, I made sure it finished off. Nothing we walked away from, but that night was horrendous. Luckily, we had 2 rooms going that night, and luckily everything still went, as it should.
Yeah.
Nothing closed down. I've never had an event where it's had to be closed down or anything like that. I've always had
awesome.
Good atmosphere and good people, but it's always making sure you've got that one good seed in the bunch. When you've got one rotten apple, it spreads, and then you kind of think, right, hang on, we'll find somebody who's better to work with. When you come with most venues, you can bring your own sound guy, you get to know the management of that venue. If they're on your side, half of the job is won and you're buzzing. That's what I always say.
And the thing I like about your events as well is everyone's kind of on the same wavelength. There's a lot of positive people that you bring together, and you don't feel like on edge at your events, like trouble could kick off. I mean, I'm sure it has over the years with every event, but generally the people that you have there in terms of the artists and their friends and family or whatever always seem like proper sound people, and it's a good family.
It is. There's not many times where I can imagine that's happened. There's only the one time we had a dodgy sound engineer, which were a bad apple in the bunch, and I'm glad that we never have to work with him again. So it's all about people getting on with each other, supporting each other, loving what we do, and becoming part of the family, because everyone gets treated exactly the same. With the love. Every now and again, there's always going to be somebody that comes on someone's path, but then obviously that doesn't last long. You take your action, remove them from your path, and we do love that. You've seen it. I mean, when you've come to Bonanza, you love playing there. It's a family kind of event that I believe can also grow, and that's my idea. We're going Unity in the Sun this year. We do some pool parties, first time there. What more can I do the year after? When I were in Liverpool 2022, but that little room, when it turned into a big room, we did that. So, Blackpool, we went to Sanctuary. What other venue can I get more people in? My own solo night in Blackpool? Will Sanctuary ask us back? If not, will somebody else get involved? Will I make things bigger in Blackpool? I'm very grateful for Andrew Fell, MCFEZ, that gave us this opportunity at Sanctuary, because he was started off with a wooden spoon and he turned it into gold through hard work. Nothing comes from doing nothing.
Nice,
and it's people like him who I actually look up to and think to myself, they're the guys. Simple. The people that have made something big from nothing. And that's exactly what you're doing here now with your podcast and your journey.
With appreciate that, man.
The amazing artists and people you have in here, and that's what it's about.
Thanks to you though as well, because I mean, from like you were talking about that event last summer, when I was back to back with Toll and Ash Noble and Robbie D, and it was awesome. And on the back of that event that you invited me to, I've had Ash Noble on the podcast, and then I've had his good friend the Layman on the podcast. So it's just it's an amazing network of people. And even from the back of now the Layman's podcast, I've had somebody else contact me on Facebook who wants to do one in a few weeks with a very gripping story. So I won't give any spoilers on that one, but it might be a little bit deep.
I'm glad you brought them up because, you see, Toll used to work with me, DJ Toll at Butlins, and I hadn't spoke to him properly in years. We'd had little exchanges, and he was into his music then. And I was telling we're doing more with the scene now. He's producing tracks in the drum and bass scene that getting played on the BBC radio, decent actual labels, and I believe he was on at RAVE New Year's Eve. That's a massive, that's a massive brand in Birmingham.
Big ups to Toll, man.
So think about DJ Toll going back to back with Spinblitz. Spinblitz smashes hardcore as well as drum and bass, like yourself can. And I decided to put him back to back. And then I had Ash Noble, MC Noble, who's also a DJ as well as an MC. And he was they never met each other before they knew me, and you'd not met them. So that set though on Bonanza's 30th birthday in Birmingham, that was a kick-off set, and Spinblitz had 2 sets that night. But that kick-off set, Toll comes to the door and he goes, wow, it's busy early. And I just thought, again, we've done it again. There's been no warm-up sets on Bonanza when we put a big lineup on. Whoever's on first, to me, is going to get an hour set. I don't believe in 45-minute sets if I can help it.
Yeah.
I like everybody getting an hour. I do not like giving 45 minutes. Sometimes people say, do 45 minutes and give the LSs an hour. No, that's how an hour. Now, every now and again, we've had to accommodate people, but mostly we'll see an hour. If a venue was shut in, say, at 1:45, okay, the last set will be 45 minutes. I work with another promoter if I have to accommodate sometimes, but on my own, sometimes I'll leave somebody off the lineup just so everyone gets an hour. I believe in everyone should have an hour, especially when they're travelling. But for Noble, the layman, and people like Spinblitz and yourself, and I like that networking. That's what Bonanza's about as well, you see. And sometimes them combinations, again, are coming in my head. Not just with the old school ones where I said like Robbie D or Wizard MC back to back, but with the new school people, and whether it's drum and bass, hardcore, I like putting them together. And I have the idea in my head. It's like a chemistry. It's like being an alchemist and seeing, what the final outcome is. And it's just dance floor love, really, innit?
That's it. And the real ravers appreciate all the music, don't they? All the ravey genres. And when you have those kind of nights with different rooms or different themes, there's something for everyone, isn't there? And people that might not normally listen to hardcore or drum and bass or vice versa, find something in it, don't they? Because it's about the people. And this is what the layman was saying, on the last podcast, that people say to him that, how can you go to these nights all night without taking drugs and stay awake till 5, 6 in the morning? And when you've got such love for people and for music and frequencies and energies, and you don't need nothing else, do you? And this is what I tell people. I can go to a rave all night and just vibe off the music and the bass. I don't need drugs,
Absolutely. I just like having a few drinks, low volume of alcohol, obviously, to keep my head on. And just get on the mic and do my thing. When I first come into the scene, we've all done this partying thing, and I grew out to that. Now, the thing that I want to mention here, when you go to an event, if you're a DJ or an MC, you don't need to get off your head. What you need to do is look after your mental health. I mean, I tried to do my best when I can get to the gym or even do a bit of martial arts, meditation. It does help, but I can happily be at a rave all night, have a few drinks and enjoy myself and just do my thing, not go over the top with that either, and just keep myself on, a grounded level, and shout outs to some people that don't even touch a drop of alcohol, like EDMC from the Bounce scene, and the DMC is actually called. I mean, DMC, he said, but pronounce his name the way it's spelled, it's a new one. And then you've got MC, DJ Ash Noble, he's the same, doesn't touch a drop. Doesn't touch a drop. And myself, I'll have a few drinks, low volume of alcohol, everyone's seen me, it's fine. But it's looking after yourself. And if you start going down the road of you do things you shouldn't be doing, I think professionalism goes out the window. Imagine an artist having like 2 bookings 2 days in a row and he's completely off his head. He isn't going to, the next day he's not going to be as good as he was the other night, really. That first night should be warming you up for your second night. You should. So that's the way I kind of look at things. And after the weekend myself, Monday, I'm back on the radio again with Spinblitz, and that is kind of my base of operations for everything that I kind of do. It keeps me warmed up. And we always talking with me and Spinblitz, plan things, what do you think we should be doing here with Bonanza? How we're making up that studio, and we're always talking about maybe we might do a one-off studio here.
Yeah, man. Definitely. More than welcome anytime, honestly. No, it just goes to show, doesn't it? If you've got enough love for the music itself, you don't need anything else. And that's what I, say to the younger generations getting into the rave scene. Don't feel like you have to have A to go with B. Do you know what I mean?
You don't,
if you love the music that much and the vibe and the networking and the atmosphere, then just go out and have a good night. But each their own. You know, I'm not judging no one. We've all been there. We've all done it. But for me, now all I need is the music.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, I was mentioning earlier on, I think the most hilarious DJ I MC'd for, when I say hilarious in a good way, kind of, I cast him in my mind, it was 2015 January, was it, or 14, I'm trying to think, around that time, one of them years, Club Underground now in Farnworth, Bolton, so back then it was called Club Retro, and who were it, actually, DJ Mikey G. The room is packed. There's no barriers, so he wanted us for MC. We had the DJ box. I prefer it being out in front, but there's no barriers. He's completely packed out, and you got this nutter on the decks, man. And he wants to get on the mic as much as me, and he's clowning around, and he's like,
is that the guy that does like 5 or 6 deck mixes or some crazy thing?
I think he can do that. He's one of the most talented DJs. We're talking like, you know, the harder style and hard trance, stuff like that.
Wow.
Whatever. DJ Mikey G is probably one of the kings, the legends. So I love the fact I had this set. I did a bit back to back with Robbie MC, my other honorary resident, who also co-founded Bonanza with me. Shouts to Robbie MC on the night. And I felt it was one of them days where completely tired, but kind of doing a lot of other like work before I actually went to the event. And I was really looking forward to this set, but it was the most awkwardest, hilarious set to do. There's hardly anywhere to move, so I think that was the most challenging, hardest set to do. But at the same time, one of the most, I'd love to do a set with him again on a proper stage, proper berry. Not that it weren't a proper stage, it was rammed out. We just didn't have much room towards, you know, the way we were that night. New enough sold it. That was a Bonanza night in collaboration with Hyperbeats, and we kind of pulled it out of the bag there a few times actually. That's a good club. I mean, Club Underground now itself will be thriving. One of the best clubs close to me in Bolton. I've not been like with my brand since I've MC'd there since, and a few Bounce and Italian House nights, and it is smashing in there.
No
but
way.
back in them days, we had Vibes and Lively ones. That was a sellout. But the Mikey G one, I think, is the most hilarious set I've ever done.
No
and
way.
just what a funny guy to work with, but at the same time, lovely guy and so talented.
Yeah.
Just unreal.
Yeah, there's a lot of love in the scene, isn't there? A lot of artists are genuine, and you might think that they're not approachable, and many of them are, aren't they? Then you meet them and you think, oh yeah, the sound.
Well, yeah, everyone's like, if you think about it, everyone's just a normal person with a passion, with a dream and a goal, and everyone's showing the creative sides, aren't they, when they're on stage, on the decks, or on the mic, or if they're just no matter if they're just a promoter. Even rave, even ravers come up with nicknames, personalities of which they kind of display when they're in the music scene through their passion. But I think everyone, it's about the love, peace, unity. And, that's the way it is. And that's the way what's got to drive the scene in the future.
And that is the rave scene, isn't it? It's like love, peace and unity. You think back to the early rave scene, like you see all the documentaries from like the early 90s, the major theme was that they couldn't believe that all these people were getting on, all different races and backgrounds and partying and nothing but love. I mean, things probably did start to go a bit south when things became a little bit more influenced on, say, like the cocaine side of things, and people got a bit more aggressive, violent, things sort of changed. But originally, that is the foundation of the rave scene, isn't it?
The foundation of the rave scenes to me was simple. When I was young, I used to listen to, obviously, I said, these happy hardcore tape packs, didn't know what to do, very young. When I went into town centres, I just noticed there was people drunk. They go into a bar and they don't care what it is, or you get towny, so you see a lot of fights. When I started going to the bounce scene, Wigan Pier and places like that, there wasn't really any trouble. There were some built mostly people and stuff like that, but there was always a good vibe. And when I went to the hardcore scene, I even noticed the empathy. The frequency was massive. Now, I even based some of my rhymes on Kelton Leach, because if you watch his Rise of the Foot Soldiers story, it would show the West Ham fans and the Millwall fans would all be giving hugs, whatnot, but sometimes, they won't be doing hugs, they'd be fighting each other. So when I went to hardcore raves, I seen that image projected myself, especially in the hardcore ones.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, everyone's, you can have in the hardcore scene friends from Southampton to London to Glasgow, no matter where you live, and that is the true key to the unity, and it does project a good vibe. I think back in the older days, my sister used to go to the acid raves, and they were illegal back then, but really there was no need to shut these places down. People were just having a good time.
Yeah.
I do say as you get older, you grow out of things, so you probably, you don't need the substance, you look after your mental health, but just when you listen to the vibration of a UK hardcore track, if I'm listening to Scoot, DJ Scoot, or if I'm listening to something Darren Styles has produced, or even another genius of the world like DJ Kurt, one of the greatest power stomp DJ producers of all time, that music, that energy, that empathy is just absolutely out of this world. And the same with the freeform. We listen to something from Kevin Energy or something Sharky's done, like a product of society, or some of his older stuff. There's a real message in there, and there's lots of other producers you like listen to, like Billy Bunter, that do different styles. He'll be doing the Unity in the Sun where Bonanza goes this year, and I think everything. I just love of music. You know, Stu Allen, one of our recent Fallen Soldiers, he played on Bonanza a few times. A lot of tunes he did was, he'd feel the love, and I think that I think that's what it's all. It's that frequency that keeps it all together.
You bring up Stu Allen there. I mean, I think that one hit hard, didn't it? Especially in the Manchester rave scene. It's an iconic name. I mean, I remember back to being young, and my older brother, bless him, is no longer with us, but he used to tape Stu Allen's shows on the tape player, and I remember putting a little thing in the cassette, so you could record over these tapes, and it religiously every weekend he'd be recording the tapes, man, and then to just think how it progressed and how much of an icon he was, and being on Bonanza as well. And I think you've done some like tribute-y things after.
Yeah, we've kind of done our shout-outs and tribute. We've not actually put on a flyer, this is a tribute set, which I think we'll probably start doing more. Wouldn't be like on a memorial basis, because that'll always go down at Bowlers, and I went to their last party and that was kicking, and that's so much amazing memories from DJ Stu Allen. We did Bonanza's first birthday, and on 2011, December, we had sessions with Bonanza. The party went off, and Stu Allen I wanted to book. We went through his agent. MC Twist went through his agent for me. I fronted the money straight away. We weren't giving it a second thought. Booked DJ Stu Allen, and we had the legendary, we've already mentioned Dylan, MC Darkside on his set, and the set went off later down the line. Me and Robbie MC did a set with him, and it was Raving Outdoors, that was 2019. Before then, I'd MC'd for Stu Allen on a Bonanza Universal Hardcore event down Salford. With Stu Allen, and that was great. I booked him again. I put MC Twist on with him in Manchester, also in 2019. We had plans, obviously, to bring Stu back, and obviously we did book him for 2021, and he got well, and the worst thing in the world happened, and he's just, even my sister was, when she was going to her event, she was listening to Key 103. I listened to Stu quite a lot through the hardcore, and he did go to a few house nights as well, just as a raver. And I used to watch Stu, and I used to like clock him watching me and watching how I was reacting to his music. See, he would watch all them ravers, and he would be reading them dance, like he'd know who's reacting and who's not. He was a genius. He did, when we had him on Bonanza doing the hardcore, he'd always do a history of hardcore set. So his latest stuff from latest stuff, shall we say, from Hardcore Nation before he stopped producing. But I'd also tend to play his older stuff as well. So we'd always get a mixture with Stu, and he always listened to me, bless him. And do you know what? That no one in the scene I've met just so naturally nice person. What a massive loss.
Yeah, it's such a shame. There's been a lot of losses, hasn't there, the past few years in the industry, and friends and artists and stuff. It's sad. Hopefully they keep living on forever through the music.
Yeah, I mean, I can sit, man, there's quite a few. There's MC Richter, obviously Stu Allen, and obviously we just had MC Mitch pass away. There was a raver, George Roberts, who were at Bonanza's 12th birthday as well, close to me and Robbie. There's so many people, and it just makes you think. And you can think of the legends that's passed away in the scene as well. People that, didn't really get to meet, that inspired us. People like MC Ruff. Always put him in a bar when times get tough, listen to MC Ruff. And then you got MC Junior, people like that. And there's other ones, some other scenes that have passed. But yeah, I believe, my beliefs are eternal energy can only be transferred and not destroyed. So they're looking down, smiling on the whole of the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree, man. Definitely. You got to keep it going for them, haven't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. And a big shout to Keith Anderson, while we're on here, who did MC Mitch's cremation funeral. MC Watts here, myself, Keelan Scar, Spin Blitz with a very emotional day. They played a few of his tracks, and they did everything in memory to keep his memory happy. Just believing that energy gets transferred and not destroyed. And I think that music just keeps their vibration going for their contribution to the scene. And Keith Anderson, did a smashing job. MC Watts, he was saying he's now been on stage with a hardcore priest, he was telling him. So it was...
Oh, wow. Oh, it's really nice. Everything you do as well for the people you care about within the scene. And it is really nice, man. definitely.
Absolutely.
A true friend to people you work with and stuff, definitely.
I do my best.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you got anything exciting in the works?
Yeah, that's touch back on this track. So this track, I've asked an MC, a very grounded MC, big MC, does he want to guess? It's going to be like a track with like at least 3 of us on. We may also have somebody else on the chorus, and he's agreed. Obviously, the place of choice to do it is here. It's been produced now by Trukore. I've already had a little Zoom call with him and listen, and I normally ring him up and I put ideas into tracks with him. I used to go to his studio and just sit with him like, we'll put this in for YouTube, and oh, this will be funny, this will be great.
Yeah.
There's actually a few tracks coming out. There's a Tyson Fury kind of track coming out. We've just got some funny things in. There's one, Pineapple Pizza, it's called, coming out, so you can imagine what that's about. We've just done a recent one, Palladium Prophecy. I think that's out now. Oh, then there's another one as well. I'm trying to think, just based on kind of UFO-y kind of stuff, mystical stuff. I've been doing quite a few things with True, because you're not close to me now. It's a case of, I want a new track where I can put some vocals on, where he can as well, and this other MC. And it's going to be a really, really, really good track, and I cannot wait for that to be done and released. We'll do the video here with you. So there's that. Bonanza, some people have approached me for a local one near Bolton, which I will be shouting you for if it pulls off. It should be, but it's nothing with loads of A-listers on. It's mainly local talent, but that'll be big enough just being Bonanza. We've got the pool parties at Unity in the Sun. I got my passport just the other day.
Nice.
So that's mainly on my mind. I've got a gig coming up, a charity gig in Barrow-in-Furness, which I'm going to do.
Wow.
I've got a Wicket morning. I'm not dedicated. I'm getting my taxi Barrow-in-Furness with my taxi guy, and I'll be one morning, taxi home, Wicket morning, New Year's Eve. I finished at Sanctuary. I got home for 5:30. I was in work 6 a.m. There are times when I can't book off. Most of the year I can, but that's the dedication sometimes. But don't want to miss what I'm doing, but I'm not going to miss my job as well at the same time. So
you are very dedicated, man, because just as you said that, then I'm thinking back to some of the posts I've seen on Facebook and some of the traveling that you do, not only in terms of like putting the flyers out there on your own, like getting about to all the different towns and cities and flyering up and promoting your nights, but actually traveling to the nights as well, and then going to work the next morning. And it's proper dedication, man. Honestly, big ups.
It's got to be done. I mean, when I get my holidays back in April, 80% of the year I will either have my 4 and 4 off, or I'll have my holidays where I've actually booked. However, coming towards the end of the year, you can't book time off in December. It's potluck. So New Year's Eve, one of it, and then waiting for my holidays, Barrow-in-Furness. So it's only till 1 morning. Get me taxi there, get back. But once I've finished, I can get an early night. Do you know, New Year's Day I was going to do the radio with Spin Blitz, but he had a ringing in his ear. His ears are all right now, but I said, we'll take the night off. I think I'll get some sleep. I've got my second window. I was going to go and do the show and then get my head down. But as soon as he said that, I thought, no, I'm going to get some sleep now. I've been up for more than 24 hours. So. Yeah,
it's amazing how you can do it as well. Like I say, just doing it off good vibes and a love for what you do and a passion and stuff. Absolutely. It should be inspirational to other people that are like, oh, I can't do it. And, just
hard
do
work.
It. Yeah, work hard.
That's the one.
Definitely. Yeah, it's awesome, man. So, do you want to mention the radio stuff you do, the Renegade?
Yeah, Renegade Radio. So, Robbie MC told me, DJ Spinblitz, he wants some MCs in his radio show. All right, I've been speaking to this guy on Facebook, and he's kind of liked some of the events he's been doing. So, I've never met him before. We come down, absolutely wicked show, loved it. And it was 2017 when I first did it. So, now in 2024, in 3 years' time, it'd be like, new enough coming up to 10 years, me working on the show. You've been doing this show much longer than myself. So every now and again, I get new flyers done for it. I would get other guests on. We had Keelan Scare on the Sanctuary, Sankfest Bonanza warm-up show. We've worked in other studios, MC Roach's studio. We've had Collective Studio, and we've had a few people, on the guests in the past, local artists. Mainly it's just me and him, but it used to start with me and Robbie. Robbie did return for my birthday show, but obviously with the studios move location now, and Robbie gets busy, he just comes on the show every now and again, but he always shows up for Bonanza. But the radio show, we do a collection of UK hardcore, freeform, power storm, and a little bit of Gabba Batoise. And it used to be a 3-hour show. I missed them 3 hours. I loved them 3 hours. Dad, you say it's too long. I said, no, it's not. No, it's just 2 hours because there's a bit of travel involved when I finish working that. Yeah. So we're like, I need something to eat before, we go on there. There's times when we nearly had pizza in our mouth before we started the show, when it was 7 till 10, only because of where we'd move. But if we ever, move a lower location, I would happily do 3-hour shows. It used to be once every 2 weeks, the show. alternating weeks, but now it's every week, and I love the fact it's every week. I love the DJ Spin Blitz, great DJ, and I love Renegade Radio. Shout to the champion Puffer and Livy, who run the show, who live down Essex, and there's lots of international communities in there. People are on there from all over Europe and America. You know, we've had people like Man Perish on there. Ashton's been on there, so there's a lot of big DJs that have MCs that have been on there. I know Robbie D's been on there and done his own show as well. DJ Si's done an interview on there. And there's probably many more over the past that have guested on there. And hopefully we're going to have some big guests in the future. I've got some other plans, but we're just going to keep building the studio, and maybe we do something special there sometime. You never know.
Yeah, definitely. More than welcome, man. I mean, you hooked me up with Spin Blitz. Top lad. Big shout out to you, man. And we did talk about that at some point, maybe bringing Renegade to my studio for a session.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
I think it'd be good to visualize it as well. And I could maybe broadcast it on TikTok live or something at the same time. So it'd be like a little insight into, you know, the visual side of it as well. Which I think would be really awesome, because things seem to be going a bit more like that these days, and it's a shame because I've always preferred radio and just talk shows and listening to music, but everything now seems to be about video, and it's just, I mean, that's why I've converted really from doing audio stuff years ago to doing this video podcast, just trying to, you know, keep up with the times and stuff. And I think if you guys do eventually do that with a new studio and start doing the video side, I think it'll open up the doors with the viewers and stuff, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we used to sometimes do a little videoing, but I think we like it being the radio way. We used to go to the graveyard shift down there and we'd do a video, and obviously the radio thing through Renegade as well, but we like that mystique as well with the radio.
Yeah.
But every now and again, I will pop up on a podcast and like here, or I will pop on an MC tour out video or whatever, but I will do some live streams as well every now and again, and which will be will be videos, but I think the radio will always carry on that way, but there will be some live streams. I mean, we're probably quite happy to do a live stream area sometime, you know, that'd be pretty cool. But the radio is amazing because you can promote your events. Some ravers who've listened to the radio have come to Bonanza, and so it's always a good platform. I think if you think back in the old school, like illegal rave days, they'd listen to the location of the rave on the radio and turn it to the rave. So it's always a good platform to use your radio. People like Billy Bunter do the same thing. They were very committed. They're very interested in, you know, doing the radio as well as doing the events. And for me, the radio goes flat on with your events. Obviously, you're going to see revenue on the door, your venue, you know, not in your radio, but again, your radio builds up what you're doing. And Renegade Radio, for me, has got a special place in my heart. The DJ Spin Blitz show, for me, it's the greatest underground radio station of all time. That means every show that's on there, for me personally, I might be a bit biased saying that.
No, not at all,
what
man.
I always say.
I love that meme that you always post. Is it you or Spin Blitz posts it, where it's the guy in bed and the woman's like, I wonder what he's thinking about, and he's thinking about the Renegade show.
It's the Wednesday night meme for Dan's show when he does whatever he does on Wednesday, Tech House, or whether it's Happy Hardcore, or whether it's Gabba, Head Trance, or Dust Trance. There's so many things he can do. Sometimes I do an odd bounce show with him on a Wednesday. We try not to do too much hardcore on a Wednesday. It's normally a non-hardcore show, unless we're doing a special show, you know. But yeah, the Renegade shows, you want to check it out and tune in, you know. It's Renegade Radio, search it on Google, the play links there. Monday nights always go off between 8 and 10 o'clock, and we have so much fun. And we've had quite a lot of listeners, new listeners lately, which we did a charity event not long ago, and a lot of them from the Matt Ritchie's charity event in Leeds were listening.
Nice.
Other people, I absolutely love, can't express how much I love the radio, and it just spurns me on to do my events.
I think you guys should maybe look at getting a little app made up or something as well, you know, Android and Apple app for Renegade Radio, and it'll give them a little alert when you go live and stuff like that, and maybe a little chat room or something. And I think that'd be good. It just came to me now, but I think it'd be a good shout.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a chat room, but the Apple app, that's something I must look into. But definitely.
Yeah, because it'll prompt them, you see, like, oh, show's going live.
It's a good
just
idea.
a thought, man. But definitely big ups to you guys for keeping the radio stuff alive, because like I say, everything's become a bit more visual these days, and it kind of takes away from the audio, because even in terms of podcasts and stuff, I prefer to listen like while I'm working, and your mind just kind of visualizes it differently when you're just listening. And it's the same with music. If you're watching a music video, you're distracted by things going on in the video, and you're not really listening to the music, are you? So good on you for keeping the radio vibe going.
Absolutely. I mean, the radio, I always say people don't like Mondays. I love Mondays. So I call it Monday Night Motivation, which it motivates us at the start of the week. I want to start my week off in a positive seed, the way I want to finish it. And that radio show, is the way, definitely the way to start off the week before we crack on. And again, it gives me you're warming yourself up. It gives me a base for inspiration for any MC bookings I do, I get booked for, any events I put on. But at the moment this year, my focus though is on my radio show, and back in my head I'm thinking, when am I going Unity in the Sun? I know when, I can't wait. Let's go out there and smash it. How many pool parties can we have for Bonanza? How can we grow to next year? And how can we grow the Bonanza name within the amazing Unity in the Sun, which is...
Yeah. So what is that Unity in the Sun for people who don't know? And I forgot where it was myself. I think you mentioned it briefly one time, but...
Unity in the Sun is the spiritual togetherness for the rave generation. It's in the Greek islands, in Corfu, Kavos, so you can imagine it's like a Greek raving mythology. I always think when I'm on the boat parties that Poseidon's going to pop his head out of the water. I can imagine it's like a Spartan raving invasion, basically, and I just think of the mysticalness, and it is a very spiritual place, but it's also a place for ravers. I noticed there's people that are so friendly. If there was any idiot that would turn up and cause a ruckus, the whole of the holiday place would know. They'd get pointed out, and the good vibes would just carry on, because it's just full of good people that look out for each other. One of the best raving holidays you can go to. I cannot wait to return there. I'm just mega excited, and obviously shouts to DJ Keelan Scar and Scar Digital, and Mr. Bunter himself, because they're the ones that want me there, and
awesome,
they've kind of shouted me, and I kind of are we having Bonanza here this year? Bunter's response with, "Let's do it, baby." And Keelan Scares said, "You want to get yourself out there, mate." And I'm like, "You've not been for a while." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? This is the year to go and do it." I had a problem in lockdown when I went to go there again. My passport was in date, needed updating, and they stopped me at the airport. I was like, no. So I got my new passport the other day. How digitally, all mapped out to what do you want. So that's just go over there. I went there in 2019 and loved it. MC'd pool parties in nightclubs, and what an amazing place for anybody that wants to know. Just get it booked, try it. If you've not tried it, you're missing out on a holiday of a lifetime and a spiritual raving experience of just so funny. It's amazing.
That does sound amazing, to be honest. I'd love something like that. So I might have to join you there one day. Definitely.
Hopefully you can be playing there one day, my mate.
Oh, mate, yeah, I'd love that. That'd be awesome. In the sun as well. Definitely. Could do with some sun. This weather and stuff's been so miserable, hasn't it?
Certainly has. And over there on the beach and the boat party, when you go out right into the Greek Sea, and it's just so great. You go underneath this cave bit, and when they're playing the music, the sun's beating on your head. I even went to a trance boat party, and it was brilliant listening to Mr. Pierce himself, DJ. That was awesome. And obviously the Hardcore Boat Party, did a little bit of MCing actually, unofficially. Wasn't booked for it, just did a little bit, and I enjoyed it there, just enjoying taking part in the fun. And yeah, the atmosphere out there is immense. I don't think you can get enough of them boat parties over there. You got to try it. There's everything from the pool parties, it's everything you can wish for, really, for a raver. There's 9 days I'm going to go for.
Can you give any details for people to search up online to find out a bit more about it?
If you go on Facebook and look at the Unity in the Sun group, you will type that in and you'll find a ticket link where you can book for 5 or 9 days. Obviously, if you're a DJ or an MC, you should go over there if you want to get yourself involved. Maybe you can get an holiday, maybe you can get on there next year. You never know. Give them away or just speak to other brands and that are over there. I know Moses, TOIS is over there, the Rave Anywhere brands over there. Bonanza's going over there for the first time for the pool parties. And it's just going to be a really great event. I mean, you've got drum and bass, you've got hardcore, jungle, you've got trance, hard house, you name it. And if you pay for go as a raver to any of them genres, gains entry to all of the genres of all the parties. The only thing you've got to buy separate while you're over there is a ticket for a boat party, but it's not too over expensive. It's well worth the money. If you buy a wristband for a rate while you're over there for a boat party, I never regretted any of it. I just loved it. I just didn't want the boat party to end. That sea is so nice when you're listening to rave music over there, no matter what genre.
Yeah, I can imagine that. As a different place, but the Thailand ones on the beach, I forgot what they're called now. And you can see, is it the sun or the moon or something, and the sunset, and It looks absolutely amazing, stuff like that. And I do hope to have them experiences at some point. Hopefully this show will take off and get us on holiday someday.
Absolutely.
So you're looking forward to this year then? What's coming up?
It's so early in the year. All I'm thinking about at the moment is I'm knuckling down, just saving a couple of quid for things I want to do. So there's my holiday, which I'm getting a chance to put Bonanza at there and MC, and then just putting some of my Bonanza events on later in the year. I think next year I'm probably going to have more Bonanza events than this year. I think quite a lot of MC bookings have come in this year. Other promoters are part of the new core order, which consists of Core Vibes. I think they're having a little bit of a break this year. They're amazing. Lisa Corbett, Richie Corbett, honest promoters, loved putting an event of them in Birmingham. Just gone for Bonanza's 1350 with Core Vibes, so they'll be coming back at some point. Maximum Overload, DJ Doddy, we're putting an amazing event on in Liverpool again, a part of the new core order. He's going to do something apparently in Southport, so I'm going to go and MC for him, and there's other promoters have hit me up, and I thought, okay, I'll do a few of these bookings, but I'm getting the itch to put some Bonanza events on. But I think I'm really looking towards next year, but probably put quite, a bit more on. But Blackpool and Manchester, I am going to put some things on this year. So them are the kind of things I'm kind of looking forward to. It's so early in the year, I keep myself quiet, and people always hit me up. What are you doing with Bonanza? It's not even April. I go quiet, and all of a sudden I just come alive and put the events on.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just come out of nowhere. Sometimes I put on more events than I realise I'm going to put on.
Yeah.
And that's what happened last year. So, yeah.
Does it ever get a bit overwhelming sometimes?
Oh, yeah. If I'm doing other things in my spare time as well, which to keep myself healthy and stuff like that, the pressure's on. It does get hard work, but again, nothing comes without hard work. Last year, I didn't turn down any opportunity for Bonanza. So I worked with Core Vibes, I worked with Maximum Overload, and I worked with Sanctuary. So far this year, I've only been asked to work with one local brand, which I'm happy about because I don't want to get bombarded with messages. Last year, I got bombarded with messages. What residents, what dates are coming in? This Core Vibes, well, of course I want to do it. And I was kind of saying to them, I'm just saving up a bit of money because I want to buy some new equipment for the radio, which he did. And I'm in a similar position this year, but I'm also going for the holiday. I was like building up the radio as well, but I really, really, really cannot wait to collab again. But I've got this local opportunity, I'll go for that, but I'll put some solo events on in Blackpool and Manchester, I reckon. And next year I'm just going to kind of build it up even more and push things forward. But I think at the moment, the only thing in my head regards to these other events happening is mainly Unity in the Sun. When that's done with, I'll be thinking, right, Unity in the Sun next year, see what else we're doing on home soil and around Blackpool, Manchester. They're the most important areas where I'll always put events. There's other people who've offered me to do, good people I really respect. Do you want to do something here in Stockport? And I thought, I might do, and it's a really good price, but Manchester's Manchester and Blackpool's Blackpool. I just can't leave them places. They're the best. I'm going to be doing something around Bolton, as you know. I've been asked for something, which I'm happy with. But so at the moment, the Unity in the Sun's in my mind. There is this local thing which you'll get more details about, and obviously there's this track that I want to do here, and that other things are going to start growing within the year. But for me, early in the year, wow, we're only in January.
Yeah, it's early days. Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing everything you've got cooking and what's to come for Bonanza Raves this year. For the audio listeners, would you just be able to shout out where they'd find information about you, Rave, especially people around the Northwest and stuff listening?
Yeah, sure. If you go to Bonanza, type in Bonanza Raves on Facebook, we've got our own page, and as soon as an event comes up, they'll be out there. I mean, you could equally also look up Joe, MC Duwkins on Facebook, and obviously I'll be sharing the same things that will be on Bonanza, and you can always follow me, MC Duwkins TikTok account or Instagram account, or even, it's not Twitter anymore now, the X on
X marks the spot.
Yeah, it's a strange name, isn't it? Elon Musk has got it, so you can catch all the Bonanza info on any of them social media platforms under Duwkins, but obviously social media or Facebook, you can type in Bonanza Raves, and there's one dedicated just to Bonanza, but I'm going to share everything anyway on all my other media platforms, so you will catch all the information on there. So yeah, social media is the place. And obviously, if you do live for the old school people, anyone in Preston, Blackpool, Stockport, Oldham. These places get posted up. If I have something in Manchester, you'll see posters in places like Stockport, Oldham, or Athletes Palace, or outside the venue in Manchester where we do it, the Zombie Shack. Or if it's Blackpool, you'll see them around Blackpool, you'll see them around Fleetwood, you'll see them around Preston, Charlie, and I'll target them areas as appropriate to the areas where the surrounding where the event is. So, yeah. But obviously, you've got social media, you'll see posters. You might see a return to flyers at some events. I've not needed to go out and fly outside a music event for a while. I've just done it from the posters and the local followings that have come, but I think a return of that is going to come as well.
Yeah.
Even Birmingham got flyed up last year. Andrew Ferrell, FEZ, posted up all of places like Morecambe and stuff like that, and Lancaster. When we did that, that's one of the first times I didn't have to do any poster, and it felt like a blessing.
Oh,
which obviously I did do some flyering, he did give me some posters, but it wasn't. I'd normally have at least 250 or 500 posters put up, and then obviously you can get up to 5,000 flyers if you do an event. So I only had like different places. Where we're at down now, we're down at a Bounce event, reloaded some flyers out there, and other places where I'd done. But other than that, I only had a few flyers, so I just got rid of them, what I was given. But that's working under the blessing of working under somebody else's big brand. But it's still good to do my little bit and do my promoting online. Getting rid of one or two tickets, which is the hardest time to sell tickets is on a New Year's Eve because everyone's doing something. But I still love doing New Year's Eve. If I'm not booked on New Year's Eve, I'm going to put an event on. Yeah. Same on the 20th of December, I will always do something in Manchester. I didn't last year because MC Mixing Pass was the only reason why every year we shall, as long as the venue exists, we shall be in Manchester and MC Duwkins' birthday bash. And yeah, so I'm looking for a return this year, and I'm pretty sure you'll be there this year as well as in the summer. Just got to see that. That is something I can pretty much guarantee you nail to what I will book in and do.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Definitely. I'm looking forward to you coming back on as well, because I think this will be the first in possibly a series of podcasts that we'll be doing.
I look forward to this, my friend. Yeah. That's amazing. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, definitely. So before we cut it off here, would you like to shout anyone out in the scene or anyone that's been detrimental to Bonanza itself? And
obviously there's the Fallen Soldiers, Adam Wiggle, MC Mitch up there in the sky, but detrimental to Bonanza. Shout to the owners of Club Underground, John Parker as well, helped me in some of the Blackpool events. Also shout to Andrew Farrell, MC FEZ, for giving Bonanza the exposure at the two sanctuaries, New Year's Eve and Halloween. Shout going out to the amazing DJ Spinblitz, Robbie MC. Shout to MC Noble for jumping on board. Shout to Lisa Corby, Richard Corby, and being a part of the New Core Order at Core Vibes crew. Shout to Doddy, part of the New Core Order, which is a separate brand. We're linking with the promoters, we'll help each other out. But she had this plan years ago, and last year it kind of shone a bit. Shout to Keelan Scar, DJ Keelan Scar, absolute legendary DJs, always promoted Bonanza. She's a floating resident. She trolls the world, and sometimes she's signed like New Year's Eve. We couldn't have her because she was exclusive to Doncaster Wales, but she still did the warm-up radio show with us. So we tried to book her she was busy, but sometimes she's not. So shout to her, because when she comes on, she brings a word of explosion and positive vibes, which can't appreciate enough. And yeah, there's shout out to yourself, and there's so many, lists of exposure. There's so many people like MC Robbie D, the original Detonator,
and Jim as well.
MC IRE, Jimmy IRE as well, that have done the drum and bass part for us. And then obviously we've had legends like DJ UFO, DJ Scoot, always turning up doing a good thing, DJ Vibes, just bringing such an absolute amazing energies of this MC Mecca, MC Higgy as well, just so talented, and just being lucky to what DJ Flavor C's recently started, another big shout. And just wow, yeah, DJ Summers, Jay Summers as well, who started, and all the people in the past that was originally part of Bonanza as well. Years ago we had people like DJ Conrad, DJ Finalizer will be returning. There's just thanks for everyone that's shout out.
Must be so many. It's hard to, and I guess as well, it must be hard for you because you do try and give everyone a chance, don't you? And there's only so many slots on these events, so I can imagine it gets a bit hard trying to not only please everyone but not leave people out. And in my sort of younger years, I'd be kind of like, why have they not had me on, and stuff like that. But then as you get older, you realise that music's about a community. And it's about giving everyone the spotlight and everyone a chance to shine. You know what I mean? So thank you for everything that you do on that side of things.
Yeah, A few more shouts, DJ Evo as well, who's come on with his productions. It's been awesome for Bonanza MC Titanium. It's been a massive part of my journey. Also on DJ Trukore. Without me working with him and him working with me in the past, things wouldn't have happened. Shout to MC Twist in sessions and all the stuff from the past as well. Absolutely amazing legend that's been on board with Bonanza in the past as well. Just loads of people. DJ Jimmy Hyper from the early days of getting involved as well. Just the list is, to be honest with you, endless, and I don't want to leave anybody, so apologies if I've left anybody. Shout to, other names that call, like DJ Victimize, especially DJ Hypotinks as well. There's a lot of amazing female talent we've been able to bring on, which is so important. Also as well, DJ New Vibe from the Yorkshire side, DJ Prime, and obviously us, MC Noble. Would like to get, Layman involved sometime. I always see him at RAVE, always has a positive attitude, and I think these are the kind of people I love, and just, there's just way too many to shout out now, so I could go on all day.
Forgive me, man, for throwing you that curveball there, but I just, no way, it's too many to mention. It's such a vast scene, isn't it? But I'm sure your words have covered it, man, that you've got nothing but love for people.
I've got one more shout I wanted to mention. One of the most interesting producers I've come across, his name is, he used to be called KIA when he was on the old Lost It Flyers or anything local on Reloaded or the old Bonanza ones. DJ Krim is called. He's bringing Italian house influence, hardcore. So imagine back in there listening to Italian house, when Zone or whatever, but he's bringing Italian house influence, UK hardcore. I've never heard anything like it, and his production is on the next level. I cannot wait to have him on again, and this guy is smashing it. I think that's my last shout. There is other people I could say, I just can't think in my head, but that guy is on to. There's lots of producers like Evo and that are doing some good true cause. I love it on the mixtapes and that, but this guy is onto something. DJ Krim, a legend.
Awesome, man. I definitely look forward to seeing the future for Bonanza and yourself and being a part of it, 100%. And in talking of shout outs, I would like to actually give all the listeners and viewers out there a shout out. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening on one of the money audio apps out there, a big shout out to you guys. If you are listening on the audio app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, just to mention a few, you can check out the video version of this. See my link tree in the description, and that'll take you to my YouTube, TikTok, etc. And likewise, if you're watching this and you haven't really got the time to watch it and you prefer to listen to audio apps, check the link tree because it's on all the audio platforms too. Listen to it in your own time. Check out my other content, and stay tuned for many more podcasts. Got quite a few planned for this year, trying to step things up. Hope the audio's sounding better too. It sound all right to you, Joe, so far?
Sounds absolutely wicked. Sounds old time to me, brother. I love it.
Wicked. Yeah, so give us a bit of feedback out there, folks, if you think that this audio sounds better than the last ones, because there's been a few changes. Hopefully going to be changing up the videos and the lighting soon as well. Just in planning, so stay tuned for improvements to the show. We're growing this year and no one's stopping us. But thanks. Appreciate it, Joe. Thanks for tuning in. Wicked. Peace out, guys.